Today we're going to shoot out a Line 6 Helix against an AxeFx 3. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Taylor and I do all sorts of guitar related stuff here on YouTube. If you like this sort of content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you get notified about all my future uploads. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shooting out an AxeFx 3 against a Helix. Now I recently purchased an AxeFx 3 and I just happen to have a Helix here in my studio right now, so I thought it was a pretty good opportunity to shoot these two things out and compare them in a mix and see how they stack up against each other. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot out 3 different tones in each of the units. We're going to be shooting out a modded JCM800, a Mesa Dual Rectifier, and a Peavey 5150. In my opinion, these are kind of like the 3 staple metal amplifiers, and that's why I chose these 3. I'll be comparing other models in the future, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to compare the 3. We'll be listening to all the amps in a mix, and then I'll go through and play the amps soloed so that you can hear just the amps themselves. The tones that you're going to hear are not post-processed in any way, it's just the sound coming directly out of the unit. I also use the same impulse response for all the different amp models, so we can take that out of the equation as well. And then after the demonstration, I'll share my thoughts and opinions on both of them and kind of compare what it was like using each one and what I liked and disliked about each unit. Also, if there's a specific amp that you want to see modeled, or you have any thoughts and opinions about these models or the modelers and what they sound like, or which one you prefer, let me know in the comments below. Okay, enough chit chat, let's get to the demo. So what do you guys think? Do you notice any huge differences between these two modelers? Let me know in the comments below. As far as using both of them, I would say that the Helix is much more easy to navigate and it has a cleaner UI. It's a lot easier to figure out what's going on, especially when you're trying to dial in things from the front panel. I found with the AxeFx 3 that it actually took me a little bit to figure out exactly how to get things working, and that's with my recent experience doing the shootout with the AxeFx Ultra, so I already had an idea of how to get it set up and how to get a tone dialed in with it. So in terms of ease of use and user interface, I would say the Helix edges the AxeFx for sure. Now in terms of customization and how far deep you can go, the AxeFx 3 wins this by a landslide. I know that there's a lot of parameters that I didn't explore in the Helix, and I'm sure I could go a lot deeper with the Helix, but the AxeFx 3 just has the most ridiculous array of parameters. And despite the fact that I actually prefer just being able to get a good tone set up quickly and move on, what's really cool is you can dive super deep and you can create something that's really unique and sort of just custom to you, and it's really your sound. Not to say that you couldn't do that with the Helix as well, but the AxeFx 3 is just so much more robust in the amount of options that it offers you to be able to tweak and mess around with. I mean, you can really get lost tone questing in the AxeFx 3 for days. And there's a lot of details in there that I'm skipping over, but like I said, with the AxeFx 3, it's just so deep and there's so many options that this video could go on for a very long time if I tried to talk about all of them. So, moving on. Okay, the third thing I would say is the aesthetic, right? Now both units have this like black brushed metal sort of look to them, and they both look really sleek, and they both have large color screens, and they both look really good, right? But again, this goes back to the user interface a little bit. I like how everything is color coded in the Helix, and it just makes navigating things a little bit easier, but it also, in my opinion, increases the aesthetic and makes it just look a little bit nicer. You know, when you're looking at the AxeFx screen, it almost looks like you're looking at like MS-DOS or something like that, you know? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but everything's like listed out and it just looks very sterile. Whereas with the Helix, everything looks very colorful and playful. So in terms of aesthetics, it really just comes down to what you like. They both look awesome, it's just different flavors. And the last and most important thing, which one sounds better? Well, to be honest with you, neither one. It's totally your preference. And I know everyone wants a definitive answer on this, like which one sounds better, you know, which one should I buy, which one is the best? It really just comes down to you and what you need out of your modeler and, you know, what kind of options you need. I bought the AxeFx 3 for the routing options. The AxeFx 3 has 4 inputs that you can control separately, and it has 4 output volume controls. This works really great for me because I can use 2 of the channels for guitars and then 1 of the channels for bass, and I have my live sound all in one rig. All the instances of MIDI apply to all the different instruments, and it really just automates things for me and makes my life a lot easier when I'm playing live. That's 100% why I went for the AxeFx. It has nothing to do with sound or any of that stuff. In all honesty, I don't really hear a huge tonal difference between them. I just think if you're the type of person who likes to tone quest and get really deep into your amp settings and swap out your tubes and change the bias and all the other stuff that the AxeFx offers, get the AxeFx. But if you're the type of person who just likes to get up and get going, and you don't need all those in and out options, and you still like the ability to have some control over your amp, but not quite as much, and you don't want as much, you don't want to get sucked into that wormhole of tone questing, then the Helix is an awesome option too. And the sound is totally comparable. I think it's totally subjective which one sounds better. So take from that what you will. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Or if you have any thoughts and opinions on the subject, or you just want to say hi, leave me a comment below. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for me. I hope you have an awesome week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!